Hey, I'm going to start off today with just kind of reading you a verse that you're not going to probably feel like connects at first, but we'll get to it. There's this verse in the Bible. It's out of this book called Ecclesiastes, which is kind of a big book. It's a big word, big name. It's got a lot of different kind of wisdom in it, but it also kind of has some kind of sad or upsetting stuff in it. And so, anyway, in the Bible, it says this in Ecclesiastes 7:8. The end of a matter is better than its beginning. A patient spirit is better than a proud spirit. That's what I want to just spend a few moments talking about today is the process and patience and perseverance. For us to really have the seasons or the years or the lives that we really want to have, we got to remember that our lives and our seasons and our years are kind of measured in smaller increments. They're little bits and pieces that add up to be an entire life experience, right? Just like a season is made up of several games, it doesn't all rest on one for the most part, but it builds, right? You have some that you begin at the beginning of your season that you could completely be horrible at and feel like you have some setbacks as an individual and as a team and as a coach. You as a coach can feel like you have some setbacks with your players just because of relationships and things have soured, or a parent emailed you and said, "Hey, little Johnny's not playing enough. You need to get him in there." And you have those setbacks, and you have those emotional responses. And maybe as a player, you were on the starting team and now you're not, and you feel like there's a setback or there's an injury and there's a setback. All of these are the kinds of things that we need to consider persevering through or having patience through, or realizing that this is just a chapter in this whole book that's being written. If we can have some patience and we can see things through to the end, that's what perseverance is. It's kind of waiting on that next chapter and then the next chapter, so that we can kind of get to this more complete novel of our life, if you will. I remember I had some setbacks as a student athlete, like many of you have had in your past. I mean, you coaches, you've had setbacks, no doubt. I'm sure you dealt with injury or dealt with a change in position. I mean, I was in high school. And in football, they changed my position. I was originally like a down lineman on defense, a three technique, and then they decided that they wanted to use me in a different way and put me as an outside linebacker. And I wasn't sure really how to play the position. I mean, it's football, so come on, how hard is it, right? Just go get the guy with the ball, keep contained, whatever. Um, but it was new, and I had to learn some new sets of skills. Had to learn some new things to look for, and it took me a little bit to get the hang of it as they wanted me to, right? And I felt like those were setbacks. I kind of felt slighted because I thought I was doing really good at the position I was in. The only deal is they saw something else in me and wanted to give me a shot at another opportunity. Now, when I had played, a defensive down lineman, I did fine. I did good. I did exactly the assignments I was assigned and performed well. And then I got injured. When I got injured, it was a little bit of a setback for me. And so I thought that I would come back from that injury and just, go blowing and going and be right back where I was. And I didn't. And somewhere in there, my coaches saw something else that they wanted to try out. And so I had one setback that I thought led to another setback, like I'd lost my spot or something. Well, they ended up putting me in this other position. And over the course of the season, I figured it out, found my spot, and senior year, I was able to be named as first team All State in that new position that I'd previously not uh, done anything with. And what I thought was a setback, I listened to my coaches. I persevered. I listened to wise counsel and pushed through and was able to find success in that time. And our team did some similar things. And maybe you've had some setbacks as a team. I want to encourage you to talk about that. How do you push through that? Maybe you've had some relational setbacks with your family. How do you persevere through that? Maybe some relationship setbacks with the guys or the girls that are in the room with you right now, or even with your coach. And maybe, coach, you've had some setbacks in your career or in your family or with your team. These are things that happen to us. We have them. Are we going to persevere? Are we going to have patience in the middle of it? Are we going to see it through to the end? That's what I want you to think about today and to maybe possibly talk about. Let me read this verse one more time out of Ecclesiastes. It says, "The end of a matter is better than its beginning. A patient spirit is better than a proud spirit." Man, that's a really challenging passage for me. Um, It probably is for you too if you would really listen to the words of it and really think about it. But I want you to ask yourself or yourselves some questions, and here they are. You might want to write them down. I'm going to kind of go through them sort of fast, but have there been times in your athletic career, coach or player, there have been times in your athletic career where you lost heart because of a loss or because of a bad performance? Have there been those moments that have happened in your life? And if so, next question, how long did it take you to regain that positive attitude? I mean, this is just a chapter. How long did it take you to get to the next chapter? What did it look like for you? How long did it take to come back from that setback? What steps did you take? And how did that change your mindset? Maybe you guys can talk about that as a team or coach. Maybe you can share some examples from your own life of where these things have happened. When it comes to your daily life, do you keep a perspective on the entire book or just the chapter? I know you kind of focus on where you are right now so you can excel where you are right now, but you got to keep in mind there's some other things in the future. If you lose the first game of the season, that doesn't mean you still can't be the state champs. You are going to have setbacks, but what will you do with them? Will you persevere? Will you push through? Will you have patience? How can you keep a bigger perspective, not only on your season, but on your life? There are things that happen to us when we're in high school, junior high, in our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond, and there's setbacks. They're always going to be there. But one of the things I loved about athletics is that it taught me how to push through that. Talk about that a little bit today and see where that leads you. And have a great conversation. Coach, share some thoughts of your own. Players, share some thoughts of your own about times where you've needed to persevere and you did, or maybe when you needed to and you didn't. What happened? A reminder out of Ecclesiastes, the end of a matter is better than its beginning. A patient spirit is better than a proud spirit. Be patient, not proud. See things through to the end. Have a great conversation around this idea of patience and perseverance, okay? Hoping for great things for you and for all of you in your futures.